All right, let's get into it. Today we're taking a look into the future, specifically the AI economy of 2026. We're going to break down what it looks like and, maybe more importantly, how you can actually thrive in it.
So let me just throw this out there. What if I told you that the single hottest job of 2026 pays $400 an hour? I mean, that's top-tier consultant money, right?
And what if I told you that this job, this entire career, basically didn't even exist 3 years ago? It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, I know, but this is the reality we're unpacking right now.
So yeah, welcome to the 2026 AI economy. It's a world with a totally new set of rules for how you make money, how you build a company, and how you plan a career. So let's dive in.
First things first, let's talk about the massive shift that got us here. You could almost circle a date on the calendar, March 9th, 2026. That's the day the game really changed. The most powerful AI models went from being these cool free experiments to a full-blown monetized industry. And just like that, the rulebook for software was completely rewritten, pretty much overnight.
And this is where it gets kinda weird. Here's the paradox that kicked this whole thing into high gear. You'd think adding AI to your software would be a goldmine, right? Well, for a whopping 70% of companies, it's actually eating away at their profits. The sheer cost of running these incredibly powerful models is forcing everyone to rethink how they sell software, from the ground up.
And that brings us to the first big casualty, the old per-seat subscription model. Paying $10 a month for every person on your team. Well, that's dying. And the reason is actually pretty simple. The main user of software isn't always a person anymore. It's an AI agent. And once the market figured that out, almost $1 trillion in value just, poof, vanished in a single week. We've shifted from selling access to selling results, and you can see it right here in the numbers. Margins went from that comfy 75–85% range down to about 52%. That is a huge change.
So what's driving all this? It's a concept called token inflation. The best way to think about it is this. AI processing or inference isn't like software anymore. It's a raw material. It's like oil or electricity. There's only so much of it to go around, a hard physical limit to the amount of computing power that exists, and demand is just going through the roof. It's that classic supply and demand crunch, and it's what makes AI both super valuable and super expensive.
Okay, so you've got this completely new economic landscape. And in this new world, a new kind of hero has emerged. Let's talk about the one job that has become absolutely essential, the prompt engineer.
And we need to be really clear about what this means. This isn't about just typing a question into a chat window. This quote here really nails it. They're not just writing instructions, they are literally designing AI behavior. A great prompt engineer is like an architect. They're designing and shaping how these complex AI systems act to solve real, tricky business problems.
And that right there is why we're talking about that $400 an hour figure. The market is rewarding this new kind of complexity in a big way. I mean, look at this. Sure, you can start out at a respectable $40 an hour, but the real experts, the people who have deep knowledge of designing these AI agent workflows, they're billing at $200, $300, even $400 an hour. It's incredible. And this list of responsibilities really shows you why they're paid that much. This isn't just one job. It's like 3 jobs in one. You have to be part strategist, like a business consultant, part technical wizard, like an engineer, and part user-focused, like a UX designer. They are the crucial link, the translators, that turn a business need into something an AI can actually do successfully.
Okay, so that's the hot new job. But what if you're an entrepreneur? What if you want to build something in this new economy? Well, it turns out the smartest people are thinking small and targeted, using an approach called micro SaaS.
Even the act of building software is totally different now. It's way, way faster thanks to these tools that people are calling vibe coding tools. Seriously, instead of writing endless lines of code, you just describe the vibe you're going for. For example, you can tell a tool like Lovable you want a sleek, modern UI, and bam, it's there. Or you can use something like Bolt to spin up a whole working app, back-end and everything, in literally minutes. It's a game changer.
So the smartest entrepreneurs, they're not trying to build the next Facebook. No way. They're building these micro SaaS products. The idea is to solve one very specific problem for a very specific group of people, but to solve it perfectly. Think about it. An AI-powered email assistant that only helps real estate agents, or an automated compliance tool built just for dental offices. The whole strategy is to find a niche and completely own it.
And this idea of focusing on specific value isn't just for business owners. It's totally shaking up the world for creators too. Which brings us to a huge question, right? How does this AI tsunami affect the creator economy? Like, can you still actually make money on a platform like YouTube if you're using AI to help make your videos?
Okay, so the short answer is yes, you absolutely can. But, and this is a big but, you have to play by the new rules. It's not about pumping out a million videos anymore, it's about the value you provide. And this 5-step guide kind of lays out the roadmap. It all starts with a human, with your script, your idea. AI has to be the tool you use to make your unique vision better, not a content factory, churning out soulless stuff. And a huge piece of this puzzle is just being honest. It's about transparency. YouTube is pretty clear. If you use AI to make something that looks real and could fool somebody, like a realistic-looking person talking, you have to disclose it. But if you're just using AI behind the scenes to, say, clean up your script, or if the stuff you're making is obviously fake and artistic, then you don't have to. At the end of the day, it's all about keeping your audience's trust.
All right, so we've gone through the new economics, the new key jobs, the new ways to build a business, and the new rules for creators. Let's wrap this all up. Let's put together a final playbook for how to actually win in this new era.
This chart pretty much sums it all up. Look at the biggest piece of the pie here. Human-led value, 40%. That's your creativity, your unique viewpoint, your analysis. That's the most valuable thing you have. Next up, niche specialization. Go deep, not wide. Be the absolute best at one specific thing. And then, of course, you have to get the new business models based on usage, and you have to be transparent. It all fits together.
So if you only remember 3 things from all this, let it be these. First, value has shifted. It's not about who has access anymore, it's about the results you can deliver. Second, specialize. Go all in on becoming an expert in one specific area. And third, and this is the most important one, always add that human layer, your unique perspective, your creativity. That's the one thing that can't be automated.
You know, at the end of the day, this whole idea that AI is taking our jobs is it's too simple. It's wrong. What's really happening is way more interesting. AI is rewriting the job description for all of us. It's changing the very definition of what it means to be valuable, to be an expert, to be creative. So the real question isn't, will a robot take my job? The real question is, are you ready to apply for the new